Welcome to B.A.U.S.E Talk Radio. This is your girl Elena Banks, and I'm joined today with the amazing and one of the most inspiring young men that has hit the internet wave, Mr. Billionaire P.A.
What's going on, man? This my mic right here?
Yeah.
This the one that y'all want me to use today to speak my dreams into existence?
It pick up real good, so you can get comfortable with it.
Well, first, let's start out with talking about this execution, since that is what I talk about, man. We was out there in L.A., and this young lady right here, this young queen, said that when I come to Atlanta, she was going to have me on the show. So I just want to start off by saying she is definitely a woman of her word, because you meet so many people that just be talking about what they going to do. And boom, we spoke this dream, we wrote the dream. That was what, a month ago? Was it a month ago?
It was maybe two.
Was it 2 months ago?
About 2 months ago.
You know what I'm saying? But we here, right here in Atlanta now, living the dream. So
That's
we
right.
went from speaking to execute to living. So I'm living my dream right now, right here on B.A.U.S.E Talk Radio. Send that video to open, if it is a video. Do all that.
Well, listen, let's get comfortable and get into this. And you're right. When I met you, I had no clue of what I was walking to the house and what I was about to see. But the mindset that I had from when I walked into the house and when I walked out was totally different.
And she didn't even want to get out, but we had to pull her out.
I was being lazy.
We pulled her on out the car.
I was being lazy. I was being lazy.
I
I was focusing on the next thing on the agenda. But when I tell you, your plans is not always God's plans. So thank you. Thank you, thank you. And ever since then, I've been following you. I've been keeping up with you probably more than you think. But I'm glad that you're here. And yes, I did say when he come to Atlanta, he had to come on B.A.U.S E Talk Radio. But let's just say now, I'd have been mad if you wouldn't have came. But you're here.
Oh no, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come. I don't care if don't but 1.5 person tuned in.
That's right. That's okay.
Billionaire's coming.
That's okay.
I don't care if you have 4 million, 5 million. I think all God's people need to hear this message, man.
Yes,
so
this is
don't
going
matter
to
me.
be. I have never been. First of all, let me just say this. I have never been this excited about a show. And I know all of the people that actually come in to the studio. But the fact that your message, your meaning, what you stand for, your story is so different than anybody that has sat to my left or to my right. So it's a lot of people out there that's used to me having artists on here, used to me having reality people on here, used to me having different people who different things, a boss in different ways. But this gentleman right here supersedes all of that. Because the things that you speak of, your vision, and what you stand for, and what drives you to do what you do is totally different. And I tell people, if you don't know this man, get to know this man. Follow this man. Listen to what this man has to say, and you're going to want to continue to follow. So I want to kind of go ahead and kind of get started. Now, there was a few things that... Where's your grandmother?
She in heaven right now, watching over all of us right now.
Well, let me just tell you, your grandmother was a wise woman, because it's about 4 lines that Grandma said.
In that book?
Honey.
Your grandma got some quotes.
She got some quotes. I thought I had some quotes, or that my mama had some quotes. Grandma was she was dropping them jewels left and right.
Oh, yeah.
They was like, stop wasting your time, your present time on people that's not gonna be in your future. What did she say? Was that right?
She told me when I was going to jail for selling dope, she said the way you stop doing that is never spend your present time with a person that you don't have a future with.
That's it. And you say them so fast when you be
because I can get into it, man.
Because the thing is, you will say one that I be thinking about it, but then I done missed something else you said, and I'm like, damn, I'm so busy focusing on what you said. And I was like, they just kept coming. It just kept coming. I was like, okay, he's killing me right now. But I want you to explain to all the people that may not know Billionaire P.A.C. I know you. I want you to explain to them exactly what got you to where you are now. What made you want to go into wealthy minds, speaking your dreams into existence? Because a lot of people don't understand. Speaking your dreams into existence is just not a sentence. It's not a words. It's a way of life.
Yeah.
So I want you to kind of give, the viewers and the listeners a little history on just that itself.
The speaking dreams into existence comes from understanding the value of your mindset. And in fact, I know for a fact that people do not understand the power of their mind. Because you can control everything in your entire world by what you speak. People who are broke because they mentally manifested that into their existence. And this is stuff that I live, I eat, sleep, breathe. Like, if you ain't talking positive, I cannot associate myself with you. Do I have down days? Absolutely. Yes, I do. But when I'm down, I have to be around a positive person who's not having a down day. That's how you get picked up. You know, so do I fall down? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? My allergies messing with me today, so I got to hang out with people who allergies problems ain't messing with them. So, you know.
He said that as soon as I sniff it. Did y'all hear that?
Hey, it is what it is, but you know, the dream got to go on, man. And at some point, you do have to stop speaking the dream and start showing the dream. And so, you know, the way my mind works is I comprehend 0% of what people say and 100% of what you show me. And so when you tell me that, you know what I'm saying, when you said, you know, hey, come to Atlanta, we're going to do the radio show, it's like I didn't really comprehend it and grasp it, but now that I'm physically here, I see that it's real. The dream is here, you know what I'm saying? And that's like that's how you develop and cultivate trustworthy relationships, by someone saying something, speaking something, and then the words hold no value until the words have been put into action and we live in what we spoke. And so that makes me have much more appreciation for this relationship, and however, you know, I met him. And so that's what speaking dreams into existence mean to me. It's a lot of power with that brain, and that's why I wrote the quote, never spend your present time with people that you do not have a future with. Send that part right there to Oprah Winfrey.
Okay, well, finish this one for me. Just because they have a vision doesn't mean...
Most people can see, but not everyone has vision.
There you go. Now I want y'all. See, I'm just having to drop a few
we got
more
quotes
just
all
for
day.
y'all. He got them.
You know what I'm saying? The most recent one that I just recently wrote is, it's okay for your pockets to be broke. Just make sure your mind makes sense. I fell in love with success, so I guess that means I cheated on failure. My mama had screws in her leg like Superman had in his head. Doctor said she'd never walk again. I told the woman, close your eyes, use your mind. I taught my mama how to glide. You know, a lot of people might look at that as it's a quote, man. Mama, this is my real life. I write all my struggles. When I say it's okay for your pockets to be broke, just make sure your mind makes sense. That's because I was sleeping in a truck with no money in my pockets. And I had to make it okay. I had to develop what I call a wealthy mind. I had to deactivate the broke mentality of what we've been taught as black people. I'm tired of seeing us tap dance and be broke. You know what I'm saying? Billionaire is straight up telling you, I'm not coming to do no speeches for free. You don't have to have, so you don't have to have, and let me get and I'm going to say this correctly.
Say this again.
You know, I'm not tap dancing. I'm not a tap dancer. I'm not performing. I understand my gift. And I think that it should be a sin to be broke. Because if God's going to give you gifts, I know he didn't put you here to have these gifts and do nothing with them. And so me personally, I'm going to use my gifts to get compensated for them. And all payment does not have to come in the form of money. Because the greatest wealth in the world is first and foremost your health and then the relationships. And so we have to start, in my heart, understanding and valuing and cultivating trustworthy relationships, because money don't make money, people do. And I'm going back to the true essence of appreciating people that keep their word. You know, like all this extra, my dream is to get back to the true essence of what really matters in this world. Like the things that matter is not if you are male, female, or transgender. What matters to me is, how many times have you lied in your life? How many times have you stole? How many people have you killed? Let's put that on the application so I can check that off if you can't work for me. That's what matters to me. You know, so I don't, all this black and white stuff, that stuff doesn't matter to me, and it doesn't matter to God. At the end of the day, he created all of us. So I think we've been attempting to fight for 2017 years, and I just want to tell all the beautiful people out there, fighting has never worked. Let's try love one time, one day, just try one day. Let's set your big old house to the side and set the broke people together, you know, and we all just come together and we just have a big old party together for just one day and see how the universe come together.
Now, I go to a lot of your videos on YouTube after I met you, and there's a video and you just spoke a little bit about it, of the journey that you had from sleeping in your car, from being broke but still having that vision, still having that mindset, still being focused. Can you elaborate a little on that?
Absolutely. I slept in my truck for 63 days, but I was homeless for 36 months. So after I slept in my truck for 63 days, I slept whoever let me stay with them, I stayed with them. and I didn't have no money and I couldn't get no job. Let me count this out. I have an associate's degree in business. I have a business degree in marketing, and I have a degree in finance, a minor. And it never dawned on me that I could have 3 degrees and 2 felonies. And in a world where $3 is more than 2, I always wondered why my 3 degrees never outweighed my 2 felonies. I'll let y'all think about that. You know, so I felt like in my heart, this is me truthfully speaking, that when I was going to school, y'all knew I wasn't going to get no job. So why was it okay for me to pay all that money to go to school, and you know I have these felonies? You shouldn't even let me get into school with these felonies if I cannot get a job once I get that paper. And so here's a man who was turned down from, I was turned down from 152 companies, and one of the companies that turned me down, that I applied for a job for $10 an hour, they turned me down, and who would have knew 10 years later they would be a sponsor for me to come in and talk about the same stuff. Just because I created my own opportunity. So I say that not to focus on me, but I say that for the young person out there or anyone out there who has felonies on his records, they don't even know that they're capable of creating something. Maybe God is telling you that you were not put here to work for nobody else. And it took my crazy self to go and apply for 152 companies when God was saying at 4, we're done. I don't want you on other people's job. You have too much energy to be sitting on somebody's job. And so I look back what I do now. I mentor 8 million kids around the world, and all of this started off a thought in the back of a truck of just writing quotes. I went 22 years with no religious belief in no God, no nothing. My family is Christians, and I always ask my grandmother, why do bad things happen to good people? Because she was a great woman, but she struggled the most. Why she sitting in the house with no light? She prayed every day, but I sell dope, and it looked like my life is good.
That's deep.
And so, you know, when I found myself, I found God, and I know God is real, because God to me is a person that can do things that humans cannot do. And I know that I spoke some very concrete dreams. And when I say concrete, I don't say stuff like when I ask people, speak your dreams into existence. I don't never want nobody write no dream and say my dream is to be happy. I'm running far away from you. That's not a dream. That's a requirement. Like nobody wakes up to be sad.
Right.
Like that's not shit. It's like my dream is not to graduate. That's a requirement. Like if I want to go to school, I'm gonna graduate. Dreams are like I have a dream to write a book. I have a dream of starting a business. This is stuff that typical people don't do. You know, most typical everybody that I know has been to some form of school. So it's not a dream to me. You know, so I'm not saying don't dream to graduate, but what I'm saying there are certain things that should just be like, as a woman, if you're in a situation, like I believe that respect in a relationship, that's not something you ask for. That's just required. It's like if I can't get that, that's like what Lauryn Hill said, that's the minimum. We're not even asking you for that, and we just leaving.
Hello. Now, I definitely can contest to what he's saying about the dreams, because when I did visit him in LA, there's a wall in dreams. It's called the Dream Wall.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't give it a name.
That's all good. It is called the Dream Wall.
There you go, Dream Wall. And the Dream Wall is where you're given a card and you're given a shark, a gold shark.
Yeah, you can show them right here.
Gold, and you take a moment and you write down your dream. Yes, right here. You see this? You take this and you write down your dream onto this black card. And on this wall, there's a space. He's going to find a space. And when I tell you there is 1,000,000 cards, and to just sit and read some of the things, it's not requirements. It's not stuff that you could just go get. It's things that you have to work for. So therefore, I can contest to what he's saying is things that's going to require you to work. It's going to require you to have faith. And it's going to require you to have a wealthy mind and to speak your dreams into existence. And I have never in my life seen nothing that is just so great in such great form, and it's just consistent. Now, I'm trying to figure out where you're going to go when that wall comes to an end.
The purpose of that, I'm not leaving that house until Oprah comes. I'm not leaving that house until...
we need to call this young man.
She need to come on. Obama, he coming, all of them. These just things that, like, I do this stuff because I'm from Alexander City, Alabama, and these are the biggest dreams to my family. That, you know, I believe like in Atlanta, Los Angeles, the more bigger cities, y'all know that it's possible that in our field of work we can meet Oprah. But to the people who will never even have a radio show, like in Alabama, Alexander City, or smaller cities, it's like to them it's like, oh, we are never gonna meet the president. That would be a dream come true. So when I put the reason why I truthfully say, I don't know if you got to it in the book, but the reason why I say in every video, send the video to Oprah, because so many people start asking me, why do you always say that? Do you really need Oprah's help to be successful? I was like, well, yes, I do. I would love Oprah's help. First, I'm gonna put that. So we're gonna be real. We're gonna be real. We're gonna be real clear. So I'm not gonna. You're not gonna manipulate this.
Oprah changes lives. Let's just be clear, okay?
But the real reason is going back to my grandmother. My grandmother asked me. I had got out of jail in Texas, and my grandmother was a very spiritual individual. And I didn't want to hear all of that spiritual, religious, you need to go to church. This was about my 12th time going to jail. And I've been to jail 15 times before I was 21 years old. And so my grandmother told my mother to have him come talk to me. And I said, I don't want to hear all that godly stuff. All that stuff is good inside of this house. But once we hit those streets, I live reality. And these, it's just like school. It's like some of them books they cool, but some of these kids got issues at home that need to be dealt with before they can even get to trying to comprehend what you're trying to teach. It's hard to learn if you at home getting beat, or you at home getting abused or raped or something like that. Not saying that was my case, but when I it took me about 3 weeks to go talk to my grandmother, and she said, baby, if you could be like anybody in the entire world, who would you choose to be like? And I said, truthfully, Grandma, we go through this all the time. I'm a black man and I really ain't got no dreams. The only dream I got is to make more money than I made yesterday. And if I die before I'm 21, at least I lived a phenomenal life now. Y'all read that Bible and y'all pray for a better life later. I want the Asians, they come over here and build their heaven right here on our land. All the other people that's not from here, they come over here and they build all of their stuff right here and they live their heaven. They go to banks and they get loans like this. But we can't. So why are we sitting here struggling? You read the Bible every day, but you struggling. And so she was like, no, just I want you to use your mind and I want you to dream. Like if you could be like anybody in the world, who would you be like? And my response at the time, because I was only 17 or 18, I said, well, if I had to pick somebody, I would pick that little old black lady that you always watch on TV. And she laughed at me and said, baby, you talking about Oprah? You don't know who Oprah is? I was like, Grandma, I don't watch that show. That's your show. But I really never watched the show. I just always seen my grandmother watch her, and I think it was on like CBS or something. I can't remember exactly. But she would do talk shows with people and stuff, and I always seen her interviewing like big, like white people that, people knew. But my grandmama said, why y'all the all people you pick her? And I said, truthfully, because that's the only lady that I ever seen on TV that looked like us and her hands ain't behind her back.
Yep.
And so my grandmama said, on that day is when I wrote the quote, most people can see, but not everyone has vision. Because my grandmother said, if you take the negative energy of what you're putting into those drugs into something positive, you will destruct Earth. And Oprah gonna call you. And I was being sarcastic and I said, yeah, Grandma, Oprah gonna call me for selling dope. So I was being funny, never thinking that I would do something positive, because I never cared about other people's dream. I've always been about myself. I've always woke up saying, as long as my family good, I'm not concerned about what other people have going on. And here we are 15 years later, I actually do something that Oprah can call me on. So guess what? Every time I say that, I'm not really speaking directly towards Oprah. I'm speaking to my grandmama, man, that's believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. So every time I say that, I'm saying, thank you, grandmama. This has nothing to actually do with Oprah. When I get to Oprah, I probably, honestly and truthfully, probably won't even say nothing. I'll probably be so emotional that you really can manifest things into existence. If that woman sat next to me, I don't even think I could say nothing, because that goes to show you that you can say, my dream is to be a billionaire. If you keep programming the mind to do that, it's going to happen. Like, you're going to attract those people to you. And that's the whole concept of what I'm showing people. I wrote in the book, Devon Franklin gonna write the forward. It's in the book. I wrote it before we even knew each other. It's done. It's nobody can, like, y'all know Jay-Z, he say nobody can argue with results. So y'all listen to that. So I think you can't argue with So that's my whole thing, is just stop talking, write your dreams down, write the date, and then execute that. And that's what my vision is. You know, I look up to a lot of the people's name that I mentioned. I look up to them because, you know, these people came from struggles, came from nothing, and they turned that into something.
Right.
And, you know, they still doing it. You know what I'm saying? And it's one thing to go from nothing to become successful. And then let's just be straight up and blunt about it. It's not that easy for black men or black women or black people in this country to succeed. It's like we start off a lap behind. We have to catch up, and then we have to participate in the race to try to beat you.
Right.
So when I see, you know, my culture succeeding and doing stuff positive, it's like where I'm at in my life right now. I used to talk about all the snakes in LA and all the people who will backstab you or say things that, oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that for you. I don't focus on them people no more. My dream is to focus on the relationships of people who have helped you. And those people need to be told that you love them as much as you talking about somebody who haven't done nothing for you. And that's where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? My man right here picked me up from the airport at 5:32 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So I need to speak more about that relationship than the snakes that never did nothing for me. That's what I'm saying.
That's real. That's true. So let me ask you this. How is it when you go back to Alabama?
I haven't been.
What?
To be honest.
Now you know I'm from Mississippi now.
Yeah, I haven't.
So
been.
I know.
I love my city though. I'm gonna tell y'all that. They know why I haven't been.
So when are you planning to go back?
Nah,
No.
I'm good.
You said Alexandria.
Yeah, I'm from 321 Booker Street. Everybody down there know who I am. So I love my city, but would I go home? Of course I would go home. But I have a lot of bad memories there. And my grandmother would say to me, she used to say, baby, she said, the older you get, the wiser you get. I said, that's not true, Grandma. That just tell me that if I'm young, just hang out with you, and I get wiser while I'm young. So if she was living now, she'll say, why don't you go back home? I said, Grandma, I lived here for 22 years, and y'all showed me they showed me how to be broke. I've experienced a new life, and not all white people hate black people. Let me show y'all something different. Won't y'all come visit me?
Right, right.
Won't y'all get on the plane for the first time? I've seen everything that Alexander City has to offer. Do I love my city? Will I go do a speech? Absolutely. But of all the places in the world, you know who's going to pay for it? They are.